Yeah, so I'm Jordan. I'm a director and co-owner of 𝗕𝗢𝗡𝗨𝗦, a recruitment business for the manufacturing engineering industry, predominantly working with SMEs and recruiting everything from managing directors down to qualified engineers. Been in the industry for close to 20 years now, even though I know I don't look old enough. So yeah, that's me.
Brilliant. Carl?
Hi, I'm Carl. Who am I? That's rather deep, that. But like Jordan, I've been in recruitment for 20 years, and unfortunately, I have got the grey hairs and wrinkles. But my background was in IT recruitment initially, very much research task. In terms of SMEs, like Jordan, very much some shop floor to board level in manufacturing engineering for the last 20 years, working on retained assignments, very project based, and yeah, very proud to support the UK manufacturing and looking forward to the future.
Brilliant. So in terms of the company itself, what's the kind of initial story behind that? Where did it start? How's it got to where it is? What is it today? How big's the team? Those sorts of things. Where did the 𝗕𝗢𝗡𝗨𝗦 company start?
So the business was first established in 2017. So we started trading in February of 2017. But it really was a continuation of a previous business that both Carl and I worked in. Another recruitment business for manufacturing engineering with a different business partner. We had our own little mini Brexit at the time, and 𝗕𝗢𝗡𝗨𝗦 came about. So yeah, we've been running it since 2017. It's evolved, I guess, like many businesses have, as the recruitment industry as a whole. We are now up to 5 people, including me and Charles, so quite a small team. We do work with quite a large range of subcontractors and contractors. We do quite a bit of work. So whilst a small team, we do get through quite a lot of work. Typically purely retained assignments, although we are in the throes of releasing a new subscription model to the market, which is doing some things very differently. So we're quite excited about that. But yeah, that's our background and where we've come from. So me and Carl have worked together too long, I'd say, actually.
Yeah, we worked together for, well, known each other for what, over 30 years, since I was this big. Some may say I'm still that big now, but yeah, 𝗕𝗢𝗡𝗨𝗦. It's not just our office landline number that ends in 𝗕𝗢𝗡𝗨𝗦. It was Jordan and his love for history. So Christopher Columbus, year of discovery, search, discover, recruit, and discovering great people. So just to get it out there. But yeah, as I say, 5 people. You know, a lot of us have got, 10, 15 years specifically in that manufacturing engineering, so a lot of expertise there, and small enough to be agile, adapt to clients' needs, adapt to the market conditions. So get that sort of personal bespoke approach.
That was going to be my next question. Where did the name come from? So, so would you say, do you have a core type of customer, core type of client that you work for? Is there a certain size manufacturing business that you work for, or is it quite varied, would you say?
Our sweet spot is SMEs. So typically turnovers of anywhere between sort of 2 million up to 25-30 million. We do work with some bigger businesses. Headcounts normally of about up to 200, 250. In terms of what areas in the manufacturing engineering industry, the only bit we don't really touch is food and drink. That's not an area we go into, but pretty much everything else that you can imagine, we've been there, we've seen it, we've been in the factory, we've had the experience. So it's really quite interesting, actually.
Is it often repeat work, same companies coming back for more, or is it new customers all the time?
Yeah, so we don't actually onboard new customers very frequently. If we take on 3 or 4 new customers a year, that's a lot for us. Most of it is repeat business. We've got clients that we've worked with for actually one going back 18 years, 10 years. Most of the time it is repeat. repeat business or referral business from our repeat customers. Just purely because I guess the relationships that we develop more than anything.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess that's a bit of an insight into the potential subscription model, and the reason for launching that is because you're consistently working with the same people, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And I think the subscription model is something that we've had in development since probably 2018. And then as we were looking at the data and looking at how we put it together, COVID obviously came about and kicked it into the long grass. But with the landscape of how difficult recruitment is now, generally, and how convoluted the market is with lots of new technologies, lots of people trying to do similar types of things. As an SME business, I think it's sometimes an unlevel playing field when you're recruiting, in competition with larger OEMs. So the models actually come about by helping drive down total cost of recruitment for our clients, whilst improving outcomes and metrics and giving them data and analytics and insights. So helping them actually recruit better, more consistently, more successfully, with the right intelligence and the right information to move them forward. So it's a service that we think, or we know actually from having delivered it with one client, they're already feeling the benefits and they're saying, this is really good. We'd like a bit more of it. Thank you.
Okay. So we've spoken about this before, and obviously you're exhibiting at Advanced Engineering, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but traditionally when you talk about recruitment in manufacturing engineering at trade shows, people tend to turn their nose up and walk in the other direction. Is that fair?
It is if you go to an exhibition, not on a stand. Yeah.
So with that in mind, what sets you apart from competition? Do you see other recruiters as competition? What's your kind of mindset around that, and how do you kind of overcome that, and what's your approach?
Other recruiters are naturally competition, and I think, again, in a marketplace where everyone's doing pretty much the same thing, purportedly or supposedly, and it is a very saturated market, but recruitment companies are doing things differently. They've got different styles, different operating models and methods. We're very much a client-led recruitment business, so we don't tend to, we don't at all. We don't spec CVs out to lots of companies in the hope that it's landing on the right desk. So we take an opportunity and we go out and we cover the market to give the clients the greatest degree of certainty that they are hiring the best person available in the market at that moment in time. Because we always work on the belief of, if you're going to recruit somebody, why wouldn't you recruit the best person available as opposed to just able on a seat? The difference to a business can be significant. So the model that we have, the systems and the processes that we have, which have a lot of lean and continuous improvement methodology built into the model and into the system, we can do a lot of work, cover a lot of ground, and give a good degree of certainty that you are hiring, or the shortlist of candidates is the best available in the market right now. So I think that's one of the key differentiators that we can offer our clients.
I think there's a lot, we could list, tangibles. We offer replacement guarantee. There's always 2 experienced consultants per project. We have a lot of value added services that we do for clients, on-site representation, employee value and stuff that we're offering, social media postings as well. But I think it all comes down to our sort of intrinsic motivation that we want to do a good job for both clients and candidates. We're here to work hard, be conscientious. We're not in it for the quick wins. We're in it for the relationship in the long term. And we're many times advise a client that this person ain't quite right because of the long-term picture, and backing that up with Thomas International and, doing all the profile TIQs and PPAs. We try to give them a degree of certainty, like Jordan said. So for us, it's all about the people and being intrinsically motivated to do a good job for the right reason, mixed with obviously the little value adds that we do. So that's what I think differentiates ourselves, is that sort of core value of 1492.
Yeah. And I think that ties in quite nicely, obviously, to what we're doing with ConeX in terms of connecting people first, building relationships, making sure people are facilitating those conversations and getting to know one another before there's any conversation around selling or supporting or whatever it may be. It's about getting to know the people that you're working with first, because ultimately people buy from people. So
Absolutely.
that's what we're trying to work across, and it sounds very similar. So this question kind of is on a bit of a two-parter. So it's around challenges and kind of problems that you face and how you overcome them, but then also the wider industry. So away from recruitment, just general industry challenges. So should we start with yourselves in terms of the business, and what's your biggest challenge at the minute that you'd say you're facing?
I think that the biggest challenge for us, and probably not necessarily unique to us either, is the rate of change of technology, and the rate of change technology, but introduction of automation. So we've always been, of the mind that we need to embrace technology, even though what we do is very people focused, and we don't ever want to replace the value add and the people element. But we do need to embrace technology, and I think it's about finding the right technology that can complement what we're doing to remain competitive and allow us to still do a great job for our clients, but not replacing that at the expense of the human experience. I think there's a lot of tech that will do something that we will do, but it's impersonal. I think when you're dealing with an emotionally driven thing like looking for a job or trying to recruit somebody new into your team, I think that's the challenge that we're going to face, or we are facing.
How do you manage the need to research and keep on top of the technology while you've obviously got the day-to-day business and the day-to-day challenges to run? How do you juggle that?
I think the team that we've got around us are really, really good, and they all know and they feel empowered that they can look at any bit of technology, understanding what we do and our values, and assess whether or not that's going to be of any use. So it's really great that it's not just me and Carl looking at technology. Anyone in the team can, and they do, and they will do, and they'll report back and say this is something that we maybe shouldn't be considering, and how we bring it into the business. So that's the quick and easy answer, to be perfectly frank. Not as easy as that necessarily, because there's still a lot of tech to look at. And
it's just a team building and awareness piece, isn't it? It's keeping everyone on the same page and knowing that you're a business, you're in this together, you're trying to grow and support the business and the wider industry, and it's about buy-in from the team. And I guess that comes down to your process that you went through to employ the people in the team. It was, probably quite important, being recruiters and knowing what it's like to get people into a team, and how important that is, that you've probably done a pretty good job of getting the right people in to help you grow your business, I guess.
Although recruiters are well known for not being particularly great at recruiting for their own business. One of those oddities of the industry.
Yeah. And another problem is, because we are retained and very, very projects, based with our systems and CRM, and we do have dedicated outsourced sort of global research team, to leave no stone unturned with job boards and stuff. But our projects, the time to hire has probably increased, I think, over the years due to those skill shortages. I think it's 2.9 million in the manufacturing employed in the UK, but those technical roles, which is what we sort of thrive off really, where they can be 3-6 months in the making in terms of the projects, if not longer. I've been on projects for a couple of years, but that resilience where we will keep going because we are retaining it as a partnership. So we do, as I said, as a business, that can be, them quick wins for us. It's a rarity, to be honest. It's more about doing, as I say, the full project, which can be for a small business quite, financially, it can be quite sort of tough. But in terms of that's something that was our bread and butter, those technical roles where, it's not just a case of putting an advert on the job boards. It's more of the long-term project, discovering, interviewing the candidates. So, yeah, it's one of those where that skill shortage at the moment, our project lead times can be, 45, 60 days plus as a minimum.
Mm-hmm. Which might lead on to the next part of the question. What's the biggest challenges that you think the industry faces as a whole?
The manufacturing engineering industry, or just general industry?
Manufacturing, engineering, this world.
So I think if I relate it to our typical customer base, because they're the conversations that we're having on a day-to-day basis. Again, the adoption of technology and AI and data analytics. So it's not easy for a small business with limited resources where one person's maybe doing, a dual role. They don't have the built-out organizational infrastructure. That and talent generally talent and retention. But I think there's a lot more businesses now becoming switched on to what they can do. But I think the challenge that most small businesses have when it comes to recruitment and talent is they do it at the point of need. So someone resigns the position and then they go, oh, we need to go out and recruit. When actually they need to be getting ahead of the curve. They need to be positioning themselves. They need to be working on their employer brand. They need to be becoming an employer of choice in their local area. They need to be looking at the longer term skills pipeline. And I know many companies do and think, well, we've got this person who might retire in 2 or 3 years. But that's not the point to then go, right, that person's retiring now, we'll hire. It's doing it all in advance and becoming much better at it and being better prepared. I think that's the challenge for SMEs because, again, they don't have the resources to have a talent acquisition team sat behind them, supporting them.
I think, as you say, the challenge is that resource piece. They are working on their own business. They are potentially fighting fires within their own business on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
And are there essentially to get new work in and get work out the door. And that is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have the time to think about what comes in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And yeah, I think it's working out ways in which we could potentially support and help them think about some of these things in the future. We're obviously doing a big piece at the minute on digitalization and adoption of some of these digital techniques, but not just adopting it for the sake of it.
Yes.
Just because everyone else is doing it or someone's told you should, but actually doing it for the right reasons, which is going to help you grow your business. And it sounds very similar to this challenge. It's don't do it for the sake of it, but do it because there's a general need and a general potential advantage from doing it early and thinking about these sorts of things. And yes.
And that's part of the intention of the subscription model is that it isn't a 12-month subscription model just to recruit the here and now. This is about a 2, 3, 4 year program that sets you up for the future and actually reduces your need on a recruitment business like us, because we're imparting our knowledge, our skills, our capabilities, our understanding of the resources that they could utilize efficiently, putting systems and processes in place in their business to say, we don't need us for that role. You can do that with yourselves because you've got these people already coming to you. You've got the systems to be able to cope and deal with it. So yeah, it's well, I know it's a daily challenge because SME business leaders in the manufacturing engineering space are pulled from pillar to post. So.
And on the bigger picture, which we were discussing before, is this lack of a formal industrial strategy and stuff for the bigger picture. And I think the PMI for August this year was positive. It's about 52.5, which is I think the highest for the 26 months, and the last 4 months have been consecutive. But the reality is, I think it's 270 billion was the UK manufacturing economy, and it slipped from 8 to 12. And there's so much opportunity, but that lack of formal, Minister, that lack of formal industrial strategy, which I know yourself and Andrew have been campaigning for and stuff like campaigning for, is massive, really. At the top level, filter down, a bit like lean methodology and stuff. In the SMEs, it's on the top.
I think the official figure is around 260 billion, but when you actually break that down to the wider services and the jobs that manufacturing technically provides, it's double that.
Yeah,
double that as well. And that's some of the stuff that we quite often talk about and have actually earlier today around how we can position that and how we can try and support the sector with some sort of real strategy, real meaningful strategy put in place by someone that understands the sector as well. Again, not just doing it for the sake of doing it because people want it, but doing it the right way with the right person.
Right, amazing, yeah.
Key for this. So obviously every challenge, there are opportunities that arise off the back of them. Do you see any exciting opportunities coming forward again in the general manufacturing and engineering sector? Is there anything that you're especially looking forward to? I know you've touched a little bit on AI. Is there anything that kind of excites you around the sector in the future? What do you feel generally positive? Are you a bit wary, negative? What are your thoughts around the future of manufacturing?
I'm really quite upbeat, actually. I think we've probably seen this year, I think many would probably recognise it's almost like a collective fatigue over what's happened over the previous 3-4 years, and then, you know, COVID, general elections, Brexit at the start of COVID. And I think a lot of people have been, like I say, wiped out by it. But I think going into 2025, I think there's almost a renewed positivity. I think a lot of people have had decent holidays this year, switched off completely, refreshed. We're looking forward to the next 12 months because, you know, like all businesses, we've had our challenges over the years, but we've got probably the best operating model that we've had since our existence. So we've always been working and developing it, but we're at a point now where, you know, we're all really confident in its capability and prepared to sort of go out there and just help as many businesses as we can. So we're certainly looking forward and looking upwards, and
not just in the UK, are we? We've talked about international, you know, branching out as a team, and some of our clients that we're helping on the subscription model, mapping out, you know, new territories. But, you know, the green energy transition markets, you know, the hydrogen markets, the government plans for SMRs as well. So with us being small and agile and, you know, being able to adapt to changing market trends and stuff, I'd say we don't just concentrate on one vertical, it's the whole manufacturing engineering. So it's exciting times, really.
Brilliant. So obviously short term, you're joining us at the Advanced Engineering Show. That's the 30th and 31st of October. Stand Q70. It's as if I pre-planned all the pointing. Why are you exhibiting with us, and what are you most looking forward to about being at the show on a kind of community-based stand rather than your own stand? What are you looking forward to about that?
I think the simple answer first to why we're exhibiting, we know that when we have face-to-face conversations with people, we tend to build relationships. It's as simple as that, and we are going to build relationships with whoever we come across. I'm working on a community stand on the ConeX stand. Well, for years I've been looking for a community, a network of people that actually welcomed me and didn't treat me like a fart in a lift, which is what normally happens to recruiters. And the ConeX Portal have just been exactly that. They've kind of trusted that I'm not there just to sell, that I'm there to contribute to the community. So yeah, it seemed like the obvious thing for us to do, get in front of people with a group of like-minded community members. It was a bit of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you've said at the beginning, you've got a wealth of experience in the industry and in the sector, and there's people of other SME businesses that are ultimately looking for help, and that's what it's there for. There's no pitching, there's no selling, there's nothing like that within the group. It's all genuine people, like-minded people that just want to help and want to support. Naturally, yes, you start to build relationships, and there may be little bits of work that are fed around moving forward. But you've got, like any marketing campaign, like any sales technique, you've got to build that relationship first. And I think that's the whole thing that's driving what we're doing, especially within ConeX. So I'm very much looking forward to the show this year. For us, it's getting bigger and more exciting every year. So so this should be our biggest one yet as well. So should be quite a good few days. So this section is the last little bit that we're going to do, and I've never done this before, so I do not know how it's going to go. But I've basically asked Jordan and Carl to ask me anything. One question. This is not scripted. This is completely
One question each, is it, or
completely? Yeah, whatever you want to ask. It can be anything. It can be about myself. Can be about business. Can be about ConeX. My opinion on something. What do you want to know? And I will do my best to answer.
You go first, Carl?
me? Yeah, that's fine.
Each. Ooh.
I've had a quick look on LinkedIn, and I've noticed, Sam, you know, you got a first degree. Am I correct? First degree, is it? Yeah, mechanical. So intelligent lad. And this is a really straightforward question. Yeah, you're going to get it right. I feel embarrassed to even ask you, right? But the only thing is, you must answer very quickly. Yeah, we're all listening, but you must answer quickly. Don't overthink it, because it's dead easy. You ready?
Go on.
Yeah. What is half of 99? Quick. 99, half it. Quick. 99, half of it.
49 and a half.
Do you think that's right?
Yeah.
It's still there. I thought I said quick. You actually did well there. You did well. You got it right. Well done.
The pressure.
Not many people got it right. Yeah.
Before we started recording, I said my mental maths is not on point. So for that.
Well done.
Nice. Jordan, did you have one as well?
I do, yes. So,
Please.
do you think we are alone in the universe?
No.
There you go. Discuss.
There you go. Discuss is going to take hours. No, I don't. I just can't see how it's possible. Is my answer.
Purely through probability, the laws of probability, we can't be, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a discussion for a different day.
Very nice. Brilliant. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
As I've said before, come and see us, come and chat to us at Advanced Engineering. If people can't make it to the show, what's the best way to get in touch with you both?
Give us a bell. 013 863 1492.
Yeah.
Perfect. And, yeah, we can connect on LinkedIn and those sorts of things as well. Yeah, thank you both very much. And we will see you in a few weeks at Advanced Engineering.
Thanks, Sam. See you there.
And see you all soon. Thank you.